Welcome back. Diphthongs is a glide of sound. The diphthong is a glide of sound. Here, the words that we have here are beat. We have say, and we have tie. Beat, beat. This is not a diphthong, this is a straight vowel. Beat, for E, beat, E, beat, E, beat. Say, A, say, A. That's how you go about it. The diphthong is this, that sound there is this one. And tie, tie is this one. Tie is this one, tie, which goes with words like pine, wine, nine, life, etc. And A, the commonest, with vein, pain, and so on and so forth. Identify by underlining the silent letter in the following words. Most of us try to flout the rules, the instructions. We flout the rules. The instruction is very clear. Identify by doing what? By underlining. If the examiner left it at this, identify the silent letter, you do anything. You can even circle. You can even tick. Am I clear up to there? Identify, you can identify in any manner. You can circle, you can underline, you can tick, you can put a dot in any manner that you feel is possible for you to identify. But when it comes to a situation where the examiner tells you exactly, where the examiner gives a clear, distinct instruction, follow it. For example, here we have identify by underlining the silent letters in the following words. Comfortable. That word is pronounced as comfortable. I want you to listen carefully. Comfortable. Not comfortable. 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 Not comfortable. So you see in that, the word or the part or are comfortable. The word or the part of the word or are comfortable. Comfortable. Or are comfortable. 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 The next word is pronounced as sudden. Sudden. Not sudden. It is sudden. 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 It takes a very low form. It is called a weak form of a word. Sudden. So this part here is unpronounced. Those are the silent letters. Comfortable, sudden, 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 sudden. Now you make it look like it's the first D that is pronounced and then N, sudden. Then we have glistening, glistening, not glistening. No, it is glistening, glistening. If you pronounce it as glistening, then you've left out the T and the E. Identify by underlining. Glistening, glistening, not glistening. It's like listen, listen, listen. Not even listen, it is listen. Then we have comb. Then we have comb. Comb, not comb. It is comb. The B is silent. Now, I want to warn you that whenever you are underlining, even if you have done what the examiner wants, the examiner wants you to underline, you do the underlining. But as you do that, ensure that your underline does not cross over to another word, even slightly. If you do that, you may say that here the examiner was biased. You were underlining B, and the greater portion of your underline is on letter B. But there is a section of your underline that has touched on the place of M. So partly M is under the underline. It's underlined. So you'll get it wrong. So it is important that you take great exception. You take a great caution so that as you underline, you do not cross over. And whenever a letter is, make sure you underline that letter correctly up to the end. Because if you are underlining like that, this one is not very clear if E is part of the word that you are underlining. It's not very clear. Make sure it follows from the beginning to the end, but should not cross over to the neighboring letter. So here, take great caution. Here, take great caution. You know, as you package your answer, getting the answer correct is not the problem. Many of us are good enough. We are good enough, we follow instructions. But there are those things that we do not value. There are those things, those tiny, seemingly less important instructions in the English paper. They are extremely important. They are extremely important. Let's go to the next number. Identify the intonation, the following utterances, in the following utterances. Identify the intonation. Intonation is the rise or fall of voice. We've done that in the past. Identify in our previous lessons. We saw what intonation is. What parameters we look at. What are the conditions of the falling intonation, and what are those for the rising intonation. Identify the intonation in the following utterances. The couple has left the compound. It is like that. The way I have given it. The couple has left the compound. The word of target is compound. The couple has left the compound. The word of target is compound. This is a statement of fact. It is called declarative statement. It attracts a falling intonation. It ends with a full stop or a period. It is a statement of fact. You cannot argue with it. The couple has left the compound. Take him away. You don't say, take him away. Take him away. It is in the imperative mood. Imperative is a command, an instruction, an order. It is imperative. Get out. Close the door. Imperative. Why are the students so late? We don't say, why are the students so late? This is a WH question. Why are the students so late? It is in the interrogative. It is in the interrogative. But if you look at the last one, is that the correct thing to say? You don't say, is that the correct thing to say? So, if you look at how I have apportioned the arrows, I told you the arrow to the right, which is descending to the right, indicates a falling intonation. The couple has left the compound. Take him away, falling. Why are the students so late? Falling. Is that the correct thing to say? That is raising. Do more practice when it comes to rising and falling intonation. Follow the rules. But I know every rule has an exception. Now, look at that scenario. Based on pronunciation, each of the following words can have two different meanings. For each word, construct two sentences to bring out, not being out, to bring out the different meanings. Now, the first word there, that is the first sentence. Look at that. I'll go straight to the answer. This word can be pronounced as refuse. Refuse. When you stress the first syllable, refuse. It can also be pronounced as refuse. Refuse, which is a verb. Refuse, garbage, litter, rubbish. Refuse. Susan was asked to clear the refuse from the floor. To clear the refuse from the floor. Not to clear the refuse, no. To clear the refuse from the floor. Number 2, I was prepared to refuse his offer. To refuse. If you see that, anytime you are given a word, you want to write it in the noun form or as a verb. When you come to the verb and you have problems, introduce an infinitive. To refuse. Another thing, do not change the form of the word. Refusing, refused, refuses. Do not change that. Let the word remain in the original spelling given by the examiner. Number 2, object. I saw an object lying on the ground. Noun. Number 2, I object. I object to being treated as a child. I object to being treated as a child. I saw the object. Noun. I object to being treated as a child. Dove. The dove flew into my room. Now, the dove flew into my room. Now, she dove into the pool. She dove into the pool. Verb. Finally, wind can also be pronounced as wind. How? A strong wind blew across the plain. A strong wind blew across the plain. How else? I had to wind up my speech hurriedly. I had to wind up my speech hurriedly. We will do more of this in our next lesson. That is pronunciation and speech sounds 2. Until such a time, good day.